Everyone, it's Crow's Nest No Quarter, episode 77. I thought I'd call this one The Age of Rage, funnily enough. Actually, I don't think I put.
No, it ain't started yet. There it is.
Yep. I don't think I put the link in the YouTube chat, so I will just do that. But there's 6 of us here already, so we'll say howdy to everyone that's here. So, howdy, Shane.
Hello, peoples.
And we've got Cuttlefish.
Hello, everyone.
We've got Stormcatcher.
Hello.
We've got the handsome Ross Crow.
Good evening, all.
And we've got Chuck.
Ahoy.
And Geordie's lurking around doing something in his base, so he might sit in whenever. So I guess really the main thing to talk about is the raid and how everyone's going in it. So I don't know who wants to go first. I think there's a fair bit of tension for this raid, so take it away, peoples.
All right, I will begin. I'm one of those guys who actually has the right, who managed to, through coin, be able to get the right fleet. A little bit of coin. I did a refit on my flagship and managed to put on 5 sprints and put on the nozzle, and that has allowed me to do the 122s for under an hour of damage and the 120s for about an hour and a half. But I'm pretty much the only one in my alliance who is able to do that. Everybody else in my alliance, regardless of what level they are at, are getting hammered. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah,
that.
I would say I started out. This is probably, in all honesty, I think I'm at 1 million points right now, and 1 million. And so truly, I believe that this is the only event ever that I've not done, unless I've been possibly out of town or like on a family vacation type situation. But I took my fleet out, and I had granted, I do not have armor on my Dragoons or the lead, but I had a fully built fleet other than armor, and it totally melted. I'm telling you what, it was horrible. And I had an anti-ship all set up with the Gales. So before I did it, so that fleet melted. Then I went down and tried other ships down, and the damage was just horrible for each level, coinciding to the fleet that I had. And regardless of driving, it was not going to be okay for. Well, okay is what I consider okay for me to be all right with coining. I'm not saying that it can't be done or my fleets won't do it. I'm saying an adequate damage amount for me to say, okay, and I'm willing to continue to pull this slot machine to continue to play, without getting things back. And it was just too high. So I parked my fleet and I'm going for the refit, and I'm trying to adding sprints. Now I'm hoping my ship will be out tomorrow, and I'll be able to hit some targets then. But my whole thing is I'm not falling for the bait and switch any longer, and it's all good. But this isn't what the VXP target looked like. So it's different mechanics. So it's a bait and switch routine, and I'm good with that. But I'm just not going to fall for the coin trap. So I'm slow building, and I'll get it done. I mean, I truly feel like I'm just not falling for the bait and switch. I'm not terribly upset because I don't have money invested in it. I learned on that trick.
Yeah, for sure. I know what you're saying. I'm just going to drop you out for a second, Ross, and swap Ben back in, and then.
Yes. Yeah. Good deal.
do Storm in a sec. So
Rotate.
so swap over. So yeah, take it away, Storm.
I'm like Cuttlefish. I've got the entire fleet. I'm missing like 5 or 6 armors, and I'm only at U1. And the very first night, that was pretty disastrous. Walked in and got melted. Found out that flames are not good to walk into. I was originally built with gales on all the ships. I had to remove those, and I did, after watching a couple of different videos and seeing a couple of different things on Discord and pulling different information from different people to switch over to sprints. And I've been doing pretty good now with the sprints on. I can do the 120s and the 122s, and I would suggest not going into a 502 unless you got long pinches made. Pretty much the rest of my points that I've earned so far have been trying to help other people, like Shane.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of been pretty sucky for me. I'm at 5.5 million. Now, I've only gotten like 500,000 of those points myself. The rest of it, Simba and AJ there's fucking prepped for me and got me where I'm at. But I mean, I can do the 40s with my Stingrays for 20,000 every 2 targets. If you could ever find any 40s to hit, those things are going like hotcakes. I can do the 60s, but it was at 10 hours repair for doing both of them. But now, yeah, they reduced the damage, but it's at 4 hours repair to do both targets now. I mean, for the 60s, that's like way too much goddamn damage, for that kind of grinding, because I ain't coining the repairs. I'll just not play for 4 hours unless somebody can prep for me, and I'll go out there and do some preps. But I mean, I don't have the fleets to do the top targets. I've only got 2 Dragoons, and my Silverfish aren't ready neither. So I've just been skating by on help. So that's where I'm at.
Well, I got a full fleet of Dragoons, flag also, but they're not armored. I'm getting about 4 hours damage on the 120. 122, I have not finished yet. I have not even completed one yet. So I decided to take them into the 60s, even though I'm getting a point cut. I'm just running those through my 60s for about a couple minutes of base repair to, if I'm lucky enough, I get map repairs. I tried to run some 40s, but like Shane said, they're hard to find. When you find one halfway across the map, by the time you get to it, it's gone. I'm running my photo tides. I was running my photo tides through the 40s. They actually work. I'm setting about 3 million and doing what I can, and that's where I'm at.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. How you doing, Ben?
Good. How's everyone else? My experience with the raid is I've had to refit my fleet almost completely,
Mm-hmm.
but I've got it to where I can do the 120 for about 12 minutes repair total, and 8 of the minutes are on the 5th ship. The 122, I can get better at them, but I'm taking about a half hour damage in them. But like I said, my build is weird. I am running a regular Dragoon with their sprint setup, countermeasure setup, and that has helped so much. My fleet is fully armored except the flag. It's all at E2 except one boat C3. So it does make a difference. My issue with the raid is they put the targets in for the silverfish. To me, it seems like they've upped the damage in them from last raid, and the points payout is crap for the damage you take in them. The 40s I haven't even hit. The 60s I take more damage than I do in the 122 for some reason.
Yeah, I know we were talking about the silverfish targets before, so because that seems to have been there seems to have been a fair bit of talk about the damage in those targets, but I'll quickly talk about what I've been doing. I had 4 dragoons all ready to go, but I made the mistake of using gales, and I'll talk about that in a sec. But this is the first raid, I think, ever. I'm pretty sure ever that I've got this lower score. So I'm just over 3 million. It's, I've hit a few silverfish targets, and I've found the damage to be fairly much on par with what it was last time. So I didn't really have too much of a problem with that. I was dreading doing the 400 because I was actually thinking it was the, I don't know, whatever it was, the 502 or whatever it was from last time. So I was actually pleasantly surprised, as stupid as that sounds, to say that, because I was expecting it to be the big nasty one with all the, with the ships going off the screen and all that sort of happy crap. But so I was kind of happy to see that that's the case. But I mean, you're still hitting 3 targets to get the same amount of points. So I just really have not been interested in this raid at all, and I'm just slow refitting. I had to change my plan of getting the scoundrel and using that, and put everything into my flagship, and then I took it out for a run this morning and then realized that I didn't put the VXP tokens on it, so that wasn't very clever. So I'm just preparing for that, and then I'll probably hit a few more targets. So
Try it again.
I've made mistakes all over the place, so it's been a bit of a clusterfuck, quite honestly. But it is what it is. But like Ross said, I'm just not upset about it, because it's really not worth getting upset about it. Yeah, I don't know.
I made that mistake. I realized that last night. Had my dragoons looking at through tokens and everything, and realized I had upgrade tokens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I found that too, because I knew I had a couple, but I didn't think I had enough. And then, so I've got them all to U1 and everything. But this is the first raid that I can ever remember that 4 fully armored, ready to go, fully ranked ships isn't enough, and that is just not right. It's just the actual targets, the puzzle isn't that hard. I would suggest that we've had a lot of other harder puzzles. Once you actually study what the flames are doing and all that sort of stuff, it's not actually that hard. It's just having the right countermeasures and having enough DPS, I guess, to actually take down the turrets quickly and to focus on the UAV turrets. So
My big issue with this raid is the prize list, actually. There is very little in this. There is nothing in this prize list that I would consider to be mandatory or needed to progress your game. I don't even think the scoundrel is necessary if we can go by the history of how the suppressor worked.
Mm-hmm.
And it is at 6 million, which is quite a high bar for this raid. There are no armors in this raid worth speaking of. Where are the FM armors? I truly believe that in a raid, everything for the raid ships that we're currently using should be in the raid. And the FM armors should be here because they do make a big difference and people are having troubles getting them. And if people haven't started collecting those FM armors now, there are not enough armors left, because we only get 4 per week in the FMs before the final raid to fully armor your ships. So they should be in here. But even D7 armor is not in this prize list.
No, but you can get the M armor for 4 million points.
Yeah.
Oh, they love that. I was agreeing with Nick though, and I'm actually happy that there isn't much in this prize list, because it's not. I'm just not interested in doing it, because I don't. I'm not going to chase that carrot. So I'm actually quite happy that my plan is to get all the sync drives, and I should be able to do that because there's enough time. So yeah, that's all I'm aiming for, and then I'll refit those ready for the next raid.
Even the sync drives, I find, I think, are optional. A full Dragoon fleet with 2 plates of each of the FM armors on it has a deflection of 41,600 under full auras in the water. The sync drive adds 1,500 survival to that number. I don't know if that's enough to break my back in the raid. Just for that little boost.
I've been hearing that some people have been using the ballistic sync drive on their 5th ship in order to cut down on the damage, because it seemed like it's taking more of the damage from the UAVs than the rest of them. So they're putting the ballistic sync drive on it just to up it that much to help it.
Yeah, that whole fifth.
It's a good idea.
It is a good idea. However, that whole 5th ship thing is a whole load of bullshit. And I was trying to get Geordie to talk about it, because he'd been talking to Corbin, so he might even pop back in and talk about that, because the whole, they can't even keep their story straight on the 5th ship. It's been going on since Hunters, and the example is in the Silverfish target, it's not doing it there. The damage is evenly spread. So, what is the deal?
Well, they need to figure it out. Kind of dictates your gameplay. I mean, if it's going to go all to that ship, at least let us know it's going to go to that ship. That way, if I'm going to write it out, I can just continually switch out a different ship to put in slot 5. You know what I mean? And then until all 4 of those ships get damaged out to where I can put it in repair over the night. Maybe I hit 15, 20 targets doing that, or because, I mean, if you switch it up going back and forth, and sometimes they all take damage across the board, or sometimes that 5th ship takes damage, we need to know this to know how we run our damn fleets, and how we're going to be able to drive them and stuff, or how long we're going to be able to make them last.
And it would change our builds, like the idea with the ballistic sync drive.
Yeah, I mean,
with the
Go, Ben. Sorry.
sorry, I put it on all my Dragoons, and it only dropped the repair by about 5 minutes total for the fleet. So it really does not make that much of a difference.
Ben, you said you got 12 minutes on a 120?
Yeah.
I got 16 minutes on a 122.
All right. That's
The 120 was not exactly healthy for me.
Yeah. I'm having the opposite experience with the targets. where the 120 is easier for me, where a lot of people the 122 is easier for them.
It's
All right,
also
I'll be back in a bit.
All right, no worries.
it's
I'll
also
drop him out.
It also depends on what countermeasures you have.
I'm running 5 sprints with countermeasure loader 4 and subaquatic propellant.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed a really good amount of the UAVs getting knocked down before they even get anywhere near my ships. I'm also running Speed System 6, which, after looking at my retro yard, scream bloody murder because it's not rank 15 yet. So I'm only getting 81 combat speed. Whereas if it was maxed out, it would be 85.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For shame. No.
Good.
For shame that is not raised.
Yeah, so Ben's saying 5 sprints with the hydro atomizer nozzle. So, and I know that's what I'm using too. So, anyway, while we're doing that, I was just going to say there, Astrid was swapping ships in chat, so you can see the message there. So, it doesn't matter if you drive, however many ships, it's always the last ship that's taking that damage. So, and I think that's, pretty much what everyone's found. So,
yeah. And then, and I also believe in chat, someone's asking they're asking how many sprints, and they're on saying on one ship or in the fleet. And what's everyone doing? I know I myself I'm adding all to one ship. But what is everyone else doing?
My countermeasure ship is my 5th ship, since it's the one being targeted. So I figure, put the countermeasures on it and let it deal with it. I'm running 5 sprint and 1 tyrant cannon.
My countermeasure ship is my flagship. I also am running 5 sprints and 1 tyrant cannon. The tyrant cannon's on there to make sure that it doesn't do anything different than any of the other ships. But putting it all on one ship allows us to just use 1 countermeasure special, because I only had 1 nozzle, and leaving my DPS specials on all my other ships.
Right. Okay. Good deal. I myself I'm putting all the counters on the lead. I'm just going with the heavy weapons on it, and actually I do want my dragoon to just slightly move forward here, and just to see if that'll work. Well, actually, it does work pretty good. I've got an alliance member that's been doing it, so that's kind of how I'm gonna do it when I get my fleet sorted. I'm hoping to have it done, I guess, with armor by the next event, with the two-month cycles. I guess I'm gonna be behind from now on. It's kind of like how it is going to be. That's a new for me. That's new.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever had that happening. I made a crappy slide because I couldn't even be bothered to put too much effort into doing that, and I don't know how well you can see it there, but so I was on a hangout the other night with one of my ally mates, Soggy. He's he's a good guy, and we were talking about countermeasures, and he'd gone through and checked everything, and when we were talking about it, I just had this moment of, oh shit. And like I said, I'd put Gales on mine, so when we were talking about it, and I don't know how clearly you can see that, but anyway, I went Gale 4, yep, you beauty, they're UAVs. 4's always better than 3. That's what I'm going to stick with. Sprints will only target the one, and then if they miss, blah, 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 etc., etc., etc. That's why I went for Gales. So when we were talking about it, we were, he'd gone through it all, and we were talking about when they changed the countermeasures and everything. And it was, you know, as we were going through that conversation that I had the old ship moment that I went, hang on a sec. So the problem is that, and if you go and look at the blueprint, Gale 4s are anti-explosive. So while they're firing at the UAVs, they're not really going to take them down very well because they're anti-explosive. And as we know, these ones are ballistic. That's why sprints are working. That's why the damage type is countermeasure. That's why they're working so well. So, and certainly, you know, if you use the hydroatomizer nozzle, you know, or countermeasure loaders or whatever to get your best, you know, projectile speed and reload and all the rest of it, that's where you're going to have the most success. So there you go.
Well, everybody put on Gale 4s because they were working good in the VXP targets. That's the reason why everybody was using them.
Yeah, I call false advertisement.
See, I threw on Gales and Missile Defense System 3s. My plan was a countermeasure ship all along, but I used those originally because Gales and Missile Defense System 3s, due to their fact that they're anti-explosive or anti-penetrating, I can put an accuracy bump on them. And you can get them up to 95% accurate or 105% accurate, which would guarantee me mowing down every UAV out there. Lo and behold, that did not work at all.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I went with the Gales and the missile defense systems at the beginning.
Mm.
And there is no accuracy boost for countermeasures out there. So you can't boost the accuracy of the sprint at all.
No, you can just affect the reload and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, so I've made lots of mistakes in this raid, but even having said that, there's never been a point where 4 fully armored ships shouldn't be able to do something. So yeah, bit of a mess, really.
No, exactly. I mean, you'd think we could do something with them, right? I mean, they just aren't performing well.
No, and you've got, you know, while you've got the skirmish targets and the 60s or whatever, you know, you're getting the hit down penalty if you use dragoons in that. So, you know, it's all, I don't know. I just don't have the energy to be upset about it because I just go, well, it's their loss. It's not really mine. So
I just feel sorry for some of the lower levels. They fighting for the 40s, and they can't even do it with. You might find 2 or 3 in each sector, and the low spawn rate.
Yeah, they got them spread out far and few in between. Every time you try to race one, right before you get there, somebody else just hit it. Son of a bitch.
Yep.
Like a dog chasing a truck down the street. It's like, just can't never catch it.
I was going to ask about that because there seem to be more 40s, but because I haven't been looking for them, I haven't really been paying attention, and I've been playing other games and all that sort of stuff. So do you guys think that they've turned the spawn down like they did last time, or has it been low all the way?
I hadn't checked it today, but ever since this raid started, yeah, they're like sprinkles. It's very light sprinkles. They're out there. I mean, you could spend 5 minutes trying to look around, and maybe you'll find one, or you can go to the locator, find one, head to it, and hope you beat somebody there. I mean, it's been a rat race like that, you know, except for like whenever we did the shipwreck at night, you know, waiting for everything to settle down. At night like that, you can find something to hit, but during the day, like right now, go have fun doing the rat race, man. See if you can get one or not.
Everywhere 40 spawns, you got about 5 or 6 players sitting there waiting on it.
Yeah, I see a lot of ships parked out, a lot of bat rays and stuff, and I guess that's like where those kind of continually spawn around.
So if you can't do the rat race, you find a buddy who's actually doing good in the raid and say, "Hey, can you prep for me?"
Yeah. Don't mind helping me out. I mean, that's the only way I've made any headway through here. But I'm not spending no points until it's over because I don't know what I'm going to get. I'm not setting no goals because I don't even know where I'm going to end up at. So no sense in me trying to make decisions yet.
Yeah, I made a different decision. Honest, I'm going for the entertainment value, and am I having fun? And is this entertaining for me to search around and hit low down targets where I can't get any points to do anything? Where, I have a full fleet of dragoons. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's like I'll put it down and hold off. I'm not really into chasing that little nothing. I don't want to be on the game for that many hours if I can't really auto it. I know that people troll it and say, "Oh, if you can't auto, you're crying." Well, no. In all honesty, I'm not crying. It's because the hundreds of game hours that this game requires out of my normal life. I don't want to get stuck in front of a computer all day, every single day. I'd like to be able to do other things. So I play while I do other fun things. If you know what I mean. And they're making it so I can't do that by choice. They're doing it. So in all honesty, I'm still hanging out. I'm still here. Like I've said for the last couple months, the game is leaving me. I'm a paying customer, and they are truly leaving me behind. I mean, I haven't quit. I log in all the time. I'm here. They're not.
Last raid, I believe you was able to use the BP app. This raid, you can't even use it.
Well, it's a good. Well, yeah, and that's. Hey, yeah.
Because I've been.
Go for it. Oh, I was going to say exactly the same thing. I was thinking of Ross as soon as I saw these targets because I was like, they seem to do. I mean, they're obviously happy with the amount of income that's coming in, and we've seen, even though the leaderboard scores are particularly low for this raid, I don't understand why you would think that you're so clever to come up with this target and then no one can auto it, and by them not being able to auto it, you're just cutting your income. So it's almost like they've Stillfront's bought this as a tax dodge, or they're only after the mobile part of it, and they're just happy to shut it all down. It's just fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
Since the raid began, how many different limited time offers do you think you all have seen?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a new batch every day.
30?
At least. I mean, I had 24 up there at one time because they were overlapping yesterday.
About 24 a day.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
That's what I was saying there. They're apparently making their money. But when they do these offers like this, like almost every day now, it almost seems like they're hurting for money because they, making all these offer deals, all these specials. That one for $20 and like 40 days worth of build tokens and so many days worth of upgrade tokens, all that. That was a damn good deal. Now, I don't care for a lot of most of their deals. I think they're stupid and shit. It's kind of ignorant to buy resources and that kind of stuff like that. But when that was a good deal. They do offer some of those. I mean, that's like 40 days worth of build time for $20
for PV. Yeah, for PV.
I mean, it had all the VXP tokens in there, kits, and upgrade tokens on top of that for the Dragoons. I mean, if I could have got it, that would have given me a little bit of a leg up. But I also feel like that's them going, no, we're not making enough money. That's when they actually start giving out the good deals. And I mean,
true, yeah, I agree. I think when the pinch happens is when the best deals come out.
That
Yeah.
Dragoon deal, that Dragoon upgrade deal, would you would have to buy it twice to actually bring all your ships all the way up to U3, and you'd still be missing a couple of days.
yeah, but that's still a pretty good leg up. I mean, just if you bought it the one time, as far as where I'm at, I've only got 2 Dragoons built.
Yeah,
could
we
use
get
some
you
help.
from 0 to
You know,
a
I could at
little
least
bit
get
further.
3 more built there, and 40 days is a lot of good time to put into, you know. What are they down to, like 12 days now, regular build time without upgrades? 12, 14
Something like-
days,
Yeah.
you know. But I just ain't got it to do it, so I don't, you know, I'm not going to do it. But
Is everyone on the panel current with the FM armors?
No, nope,
I'm not chasing them 25 million point armors.
nope, me either.
Ain't no way. I
I'm
don't have
5
the
armor short.
Praetorians. If they let us use our subs in the beginning like they did, like we used to be able to back in the old days, I'd be hitting those bigger targets. And I mean, if I had the Praetorians, I'd be hitting the bigger targets. But I don't. And I'll just do 120s, and I ain't chasing 25 million point freaking weekly prizes. That's just Jesus.
I feel the same way, and it's not that I can't get it or anything. And if I wanted it bad enough, I'm sure I'd buy it straight on some deal that they'll have. In all honesty, on the side they'll have some special armor deal. But I'm not. I am just not spending that many hours each week doing the weekly. Good luck with the game. I'm a PvP player. I'm just not dedicating that much time to PvE. Have fun.
I mean, I get the batteries and I get the sync drives. I get the stuff that, you know, where it's supposed to be, which is, you know, it's grown up higher than what it's supposed to be. But I mean, when they did the 25 million point thing, it's like, take that shit and shove it.
No,
I'm
exactly.
not doing it.
I always got every single thing in the weekly, and it's like you drove me away from it. In all honesty, I can get it. I can hit those targets, but I'm not gonna hit. I'm not doing it, man. And if you can't figure out that the community or just myself that doesn't think that is entertainment, and that's your plan, then good plan. And move. Okay, I'll watch.
You can auto the 131 for about 4 or 5 times with your Praetorian fleet, and then overnight repair it.
Yeah, if I had Praetorians,
that's what I do at the end of the day with my Praetorians, and then don't have to worry about it.
So you do that every single day, and you do nothing. Yeah. You don't hit any bases, and
no.
Well, that's only
for
what
for the
20,
FM.
30 minutes.
At the end of the night, I'll just auto 4 targets and then tell it to overnight repair and do the same thing the next night. And the rest of the day, I'll do whatever I want.
See, I'm a PvE grinder, so I grind the 120s for my 270 million points needed in the FM every week.
Nope, ain't doing that shit. I'll hit 10 targets and get all my tokens and get what I need to get the tokens. And then during the week, I'll salvage 120s and get more points and pick up on all the sync drives and stuff. But I'm not chasing that 270 million freaking points.
But should the armor
at 600,000 at a time?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, the armor should not be priced at 25 million. That's BS
exactly
right there.
It's true. Let's talk about this 25 million armor that you have to spend so much time to get. And after speaking with Pixie, it's working correctly. It's the reason we aren't seeing that much difference between the repair on an unarmored fleet and an armored fleet is because when these defense numbers get this high, you add that much more. those little numbers from the armors on top of the base, you're going to see very little change, and that's like intent. That's how it's planned. That's working as intended. So the little differences in the armors, it's really changed since the percentages, this new system. In my opinion, not just my opinion, it's the fact. It's fact. Armor value has really gone down. So, like the specials in the weekly or on the lower tier, they have these armors like huge, these crazy point figures, and and the value is really very minor in the actual game. So whoever's in charge of the point value system type, you know what I mean? I'm not sure if that's product or whatever. That's where I think is the fail. I'm okay with, I guess, something being up in that 25 million range if it's a hull or something like that, but not a army with very little value. You know what I mean?
Well, if you only had to buy it once, that would be fine, but you got to buy them every week.
Yeah, this limited thing is BS also.
But they're very little value even at what they are. I mean, right? I mean, in the end, big picture, the repair time's not that much difference with that piece of armor on. Correct? I mean,
if you notice a difference.
Right. I mean, it's just math. It's how math works.
I've seen the same repair times coming from different people running 2 armors or 4 armors. It don't matter. They still got 15 minutes damage on that whole 5 in that run. You know.
Yeah, we're down to the seconds difference at a lot of time in the armor. So I got a dog that's going to bark here.
She's pissed. Well, it's interesting because we were also talking about that too. That for all the chasing that we're doing for these armors, and I know, when Cuddle was asking me before, I've concentrated on the ballistic and the radioactives to get myself set up for the raid, and I've let the explosive ones go because I didn't want to chase that much. And where was I going with this? I don't know. Oh, that's right. And then, we're back to where we were 9 months ago or however long ago it was when, how we were getting up to resistance being up to 99.4 and 99.6 made that difference. And it's just like we're back there again. And it's just, so you put out a hull that's this strong already, then want us to upgrade it, then get limited armors for it to find that it's, then you go into a target and you make one mistake and they get annihilated anyway. It's like, well, I just don't think they're very clever. It's kind of bizarre.
Right. And that's my thinking too. It's just,
I have noticed a very little difference in my fleet with the armor as compared to without it. So.
Well, yeah, that's how it is. I mean, it's it's math.
Yeah.
It's just that's just math, but so we see it. We know. I mean, now I honestly was one of those who didn't sit down and look at all the numbers or didn't even really take the time. And I complained and said the armors aren't working, and sat down and had the math done for me, and they are working for sure. It's just that little of a, and depending on the hull, because that base figure really affects it a great deal. So some hulls are just that way by design. But this is not our design. This is their design. So it's by their.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel 25 mil a piece for the armor is way too high. It should have come out at like maybe 10 mil a piece. which for what it is would have been an acceptable price in my mind.
Well, from them jumping straight from 2.5 million to 25 million, that's
Yeah.
a big pill to swallow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we would have been
I've
rightly upset that they were 10 million, but Ben's right. We probably would have swallowed it, but yeah, 25 is just too much. What were you going to say, Cuddle?
I was going to say like 5 to 6 million at most.
Yeah.
But I'm a grinder. You know how many 120s I have to hit?
A lot.
470 of them. I do know.
Mm.
It's-
no.
isn't it like 420 of them just for the armor?
Yes, it is. I have a very comfortable seat. Very comfortable.
What a fun game you have, Cuddlepit. What a fun game you play, huh? That's 400 of the same targets clicking. That is not fun in my. I mean, why might as well play a slot machine? 400.
I think they should have made the armors like 5 million, and the next target, what is it? The 125 is 800,000, and then this 131 they jumped it to 10 million. Based on 5 million for price point of armor, I think that the target should have been maybe worth 1.5 or maybe 2 to keep in balance and the correct scale of escalation instead of this jump. Also, these 3 armors don't belong in tab 5. They should have been started in tab 6.
Tab 9.
Yeah. Well, there's 6 and 7. Yeah.
Tab garbage can.
But at any rate, yeah, I think they need to reevaluate the FM something. But I think it is what it is. Don't you? I don't think they're going to change it. You?
No.
No. I think I was going to say that before. I think the ship sailed with that. So I did actually do some experimenting around on the FM targets because I was, at a situation where I didn't have any repairs and it was, late at night. So I'm like, okay, so what's the worst that can happen? So I went in and autoed one of them and got an hour and a half's damage, and I thought, shit, that's pretty good. I'm surprised that it's that little. And then that was at the stage where they were mucking around with them, and the damage went up because they were mucking around with it. But interestingly enough, because I was autoing but watching, all the damage went on the 5th ship. Surprise, surprise. We're not surprised by that at all. However, when I drive, I've got them down to about around an hour, a bit over an hour. And when you auto them, they don't do the turtle formation. So then all the damage goes to the 5th ship again. So this whole 5th ship stuff is just crazy. So there you go.
Their way of making force damage.
Mm.
And so you can't just bring it in and instant repair in base.
Yeah. Damnation's managed to pop back into chat, so he's just saying that the D7N are not working as intended. So it's that mixed message again. So
yeah, anytime you need, you can drop me down. That's fine.
All right. And we'll bring Storm back up. So there you go. And yes, with Stardust, they never should have messed with the armor. The survivability is nonsense. So.
RB, if you want to drop me down, you can bring Damnation up.
Yeah, he's not in the bottom, so he'll do what he does. So whatever. Anyway, I'm not going to go on for long with this, so I think we'll just quick. Has anyone got anything else that they want to talk about with the raid? And then I'll do BP next week, and then I'm going to hang it up. So,
Is anyone actually into the whole interceptor thing? Since we haven't covered them at all.
for sure.
Nope.
No, not really.
Okay,
well, the ship, the Nemean.
Nemean.
Yeah.
I picked up one. I might build it 6 months from now.
Me either. Okay, just want to make sure that was covered.
Yeah. Well, normally that would be something that I would chase, but they turned shipwrecks into such a mess that I'm just not interested in it. So, whatever.
New ship, yay!
Yeah. And normally I'd be like, sure, I'll get that. I can play this game. I've been playing it for a long time. I'm not great at it, but I can do stuff, and would have been able to get it. But I don't really care.
Kind of shows how they put the value on it too. I mean, it's only 2.5 million to where the featured ship is 6 million. I mean, if it was a featured ship and important, it'd be 6 million points too.
But you got to buy 3 of them.
Yeah. So I mean, what, 7.5 million for 3 ships, or 6 million for one?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Volkswagen. I mean, get the 3-for-1 special over here. But yeah, I mean, they don't seem. It's like they noticed people are like said, fuck it.
At this rate, we need a dock for our PvE ships, a dock for our interceptors, and a dock for our PvP ships, and storage for all 3.
Well, Shane,
that's one of the reasons why I'm not going for it, is because I just, if they do happen to give away hulls, I'm full, so I have to scrap something. So I just it's just a farce.
We'll get 3 of them eventually. I think next time we should be getting frigates. I mean, last time we got Corsairs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they'll eventually give them to us anyway.
Definitely an upgrade yard.
Yeah, it's called a retro lab. Goofy bastards.
Yeah. The other thing that's sort of, made me leery about all this is the balance pass that they've done on them anyway. So it's like, well, I don't know, I'm not going to go out there and drive them and test them to see what's happened to them and which ones are better and all the rest of it, because guess what? There's still people that are ahead of me with, fully upgraded interceptors. So I'm like, well, whatever. I don't care.
Right. No, exactly. And that's how I feel about it. I'm like, well, that ship has sailed because you killed it with the upgrades, in my opinion. Just my opinion. So I know some people probably enjoy it, but no thanks. It's just like, I don't know. You're allowing different cars into NASCAR. No.
Yeah. You're allowing modified cars into NASCAR. Yeah.
It's not. Yeah.
What use is it? You're letting number 7 over there run with fucking NOS. Piss off.
Right. Because he spent more to get in. No, that's not. But that's okay. That game is okay. Also, it's just not one I choose to do. It's what I mean?
It's definitely not what they advertised it as.
Not in the original. Not in the beginning. And that's all right. Also, I'm not trying to knock those people that do enjoy it, actually, because I did when it started myself. Also, yeah, I thought it was kind of fun.
I will, because I liked it. I like shipwreck. I like the fleet to fleet battles and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, just like almost instantly, they put in the point and click button, the I win button here. If you do this right here, you got your leg up in this fucking NASCAR race. It's like, well, fuck y'all then.
Well, but for me, it's not just totally that lack of, I don't know, to sit there and watch a target and for that long a period of time to not get attacked and for nothing to happen. I mean, honestly.
Well, that timing could be worked out at a better rate or whatever.
It just that's where it wasn't for me either. I mean,
remember at the very beginning, you were supposed to hold the target for a full 30 minutes, not the 15 minutes they got turned down to. So,
yeah. Well, but that person that thought of that isn't the same guy that thought of my PvP battle pirate. They're changing the game.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm just going to bring up BP next week, and we'll quickly go over that, and then I'm going to put an end to it because I feel like it. So we'll give everyone seizures for a second because I'm good at that. However, you will be able to see this a bit clearer. So anyway. So we've got the update notes on Monday. Nothing changes there, blah, blah, blah. Forsaken Mission, Shipwrecks, and VXP weekend. So that's the update notes. On the 17th, we get the Forsaken Mission briefing. So they're talking about information on targets and what you can expect in the prize store. So seems to me like something's changing a bit there. But anyway, never mind. I'll just get rid of the sidebar. Then on the 18th, Wednesday, Shipwrecks briefing, September Art Showcase. Well, if they were good like they were last time, that's okay. And it'll give you everything you need to know about targets, prizes, and bases. So there you go. And a sneak peek at exciting new content. Shipwrecks, Thursday. VXP weekend, Friday.
Here we go.
Enjoy.
Well, very little to actually chew on in here. I mean, I'm glad it's a 5-day week, 5-day calendar. That's very nice. Almost got 7 days there, but there are no even names of any prizes coming up. And usually we would have something here which we could talk about. There's no, even if it's just the name of the prize, and there's nothing on here.
Yeah.
So, art showcase. Woot!
Well, they were a lot better last time. I was pretty critical of the first few, so they were quite good last time. So I'll give them. And I know Ross likes the art department, so you've got to say.
Yeah, their art department does a good job. I think they do. They don't do a poor job, in my opinion, but they don't. The stuff's got. Look how the game's progressed as art in the artwork. Yeah, we used to play one boxy old game,
Yeah.
I tell you, we really did. So
yeah,
we were happy with it. So that game has really progressed in that aspect, for my liking.
Yeah, I guess Shipwrecks will be a bit of an experimentation for everyone with the balance pass and everything. And I guess the other trippy thing too is that with all these different skins out there, you're going to have to look twice, and by the time you've done that, you'll be in battle. So it could be kind of interesting, I guess. I might have a little shot at it.
Well, all the players who like Shipwrecks are pretty happy about if you happen to win the battle, you get a free repair.
Has that already been tested? Has that already been implemented and tested, or not yet?
It was posted in the Wrong Thinker thing.
Yeah, but it hadn't been out there in practice yet, right?
Right.
Have to see how well it goes.
Imagine the tickets if that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Oh my Gideon. That'll keep him busy.
You lost your damn perch. You was busy writing the damn ticket. They'll come back in and hit you.
Oh golly. Anyway, never mind. I was going to say something briefly there, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, anyway, whatever. I don't care.
I do have one positive about the raid, which I didn't mention. and that is the prize redemption window and the layout of it with the tabs and the hide owned. That's actually pretty good. Let's keep that around.
Yeah, for sure. And they've put my little flags on the targets again too, because I noticed, I was going to say that earlier, I noticed the locators fucked up again because, you know, it was taking me 2 minutes to a target as I drive past 5 others. So, yeah, good to see that that's working. So, yeah.
On the overview, they have the little icon click to find the targets on the map. It's back. That I congratulated them on Discord and got some recognition for it.
I like Carl's one here. Good graphics doesn't fix crap gameplay.
Pretty turd, still a turd.
That's right. Yeah. Very good. All right. Well, I'm gonna knock it on the head. So say goodbye, everyone, and then I'll swap Ben out, and he can say goodbye as well. I do have the right hangout working this time because I went in and did it earlier, so I should be okay this time. So there you go. So say goodbye, everyone.
See you later.
Have a good day, everyone. Remember, everything's optional.
Good night, all.
Upgrade suck.
Very good. So anything you wanted to say, Ben, quickly?
Just good night, everyone. Enjoy the raid if you're doing it. Have fun.
Cool. Good luck. Yes, I normally say good luck too, but whatever. If you do it, you do it. And Cuddle's right. Everything is optional. So it's not everything is awesome. Everything is optional. So I'll put the Hangout link in the YouTube chat, and I'll see you all over there when I get there. So catch you later.
Later.
Later.